Good morning. My name is Viren and I'm Director of Blossom Learning Center. So our students are getting very good score in the PTE. So if you want to get the same score, you don't need to come us. We will reach to you. So the thing is that we will just send you one type of the particularly format that how our students are working here. I just share with you a routine for a 1 week, that if your exam is after 1 week, I just share with you a 1 week routine and you will get surely very good score if you just go with that. I just tell you all the things in that, how many things you have to do and what's the timing for that, and how you have to do all the things to get very good score, that is 90 and near to the 90 score. So for that, if you want to get that routine from us, so please subscribe our channel and send me your particular subscribe screenshot on this particular mobile number जो आपको स्क्रीन पे दिखाई दे रहा है. Just share with me and I'll just send you the routine within 24 hours. I'll just send you that routine. So do it as soon as possible if you want to get the formats and tips and tricks. So I need to be that you just share this particular channel with your 5 different friends, those that are doing PT right now, and just share with the knowledge with them as well. So if you just do that, just once again send me the screenshot with the 5 different students on the behalf of your approach. So I'll just share with you the routine, the tips and the tricks as well. So do it as soon as possible if you want to get that score as you just see on the screen. So have a nice day. Bye.
This given image represents the flood distribution in the world. According to the image, we can see that Asia has the highest in number of events, which is around 2,000, followed by America. The least can be seen in China. Africa and Europe almost remains on the similar trends. Overall, we can say by looking the trend, Asia will remain higher in floods as comparison to other continents. The following graph gives information about the age distribution of gastrointestinal tumors. The items include age in years, number of cases, and the percentage. According to this graph, in age from 15 to 24, the value of the number of case is around 82, and in age from 25 to 34, the value of the number of cases is around 248. which is higher. You can see from this graph that the highest value of the number of cases is around 834. You can also see from this graph that the lower The following graph gives information about natural vegetation of India. Data of different areas are displayed on the map. According to this graph, tropical dry deciduous is the most common vegetation in India. Alpine vegetation is mainly distributed in the north of India. You can see from this graph, the smallest distribution of vegetation in India is montane subtropical and temperate. 9 different plants are distributed in India. This graph shows the government expenditure in different sectors of education. It is shown on the graph that $11 billion are invested in education in total. At the top of the pyramid, we can see higher education, in which $1.8 billion are invested, followed by which vocational educational training and schools get $2 billion and $3.4 billion respectively. At the bottom of the pyramid, we can see the early childhood, in which $0.81.4 billion are invested. It can be seen that schools get the highest investment while early childhood gets the least. In conclusion, this graph gives very interesting information. The following graph gives information about the GDP forecast. Data of different areas are displayed on the map. The items include GDP, percentages, and cities. According to this graph, the largest areas of GDP growth are in China. In comparison, the smallest areas of GDP growth are in Europe. In conclusion, the area of GDP growth in China is much larger than that of GDP growth in America. The following graph gives information about the process flowchart. It shows how the process is done. The steps include initial stage, presentation, and signing of the contract. According to this graph, the first step is the initial stage. Followed by that, the second step, questions and presentation. You can see from this graph that the third step is the signing of the contract. You can also see from this graph that the next step is construction. Followed by that, the next step is handling over after completion. Followed by that, the next step, defects liability period. The final step is customer satisfaction.
The pie chart illustrates the percentages of European Union population in different countries for the year 2007. As we can see, Germany was the most populous country with 16.6%, followed by France taking off 12.8% of the total population, while the United Kingdom and Italy contributed 12.3% and 11.9% in population respectively. Spain and Poland were smaller countries by population that fell between 7% and 9%. Rest of the 21 countries made the largest portion. Overall, we can conclude that it is the group of European countries with the largest population and not just one country.
The above graph represents information about men and women who are attending classes at different times in a day. It can be seen in both pie chart and a line graph that more than 70% women prefer morning classes as compared to 25% of men. However, for afternoon classes, 60% of women prefer this time as compared to about 40% of men. For evening classes, we can see that about 60% men prefer evening classes as compared to just 40% women. This variation can be due to working hours, or safety and security of women during late evening hours. The graph compares the amount of leisure time enjoyed by people of different employment levels. In the given column graph, no data has been provided for the part-time employed and house-staying men. Unemployed and retired men/women had approximate 85 and 83 hours of spare time respectively, followed by housewives who have 50 hours of leisure time. On the other hand, full-time employed men and women have comparatively less leisure time. In conclusion, unemployed and retired people enjoyed more leisure time than employed people. The supplied maps compare the changes that took place in a town between 1948 and 2010. Comparing the town map of 2010 with 1948, it has changed a lot, including the new airport, commercial buildings, supermarket, and sports stadium. From the center of the town to the northeast, the town had lakes surrounded with trees and the factories were situated in 1948. In the year 2010, these places are occupied by airport and supermarket. At the same time, in the bottom of the town, the local supermarket and church were substituted with commercial buildings and sports stadium.